Howdy, y'all. Welcome to Two Man Congress. I'm your host, Chad Larson, and let's hop into it. So, this first episode that I'm doing is McDonald's versus Miss Liebeck, which is a famous case that all of us have heard of. It's the one when an older lady sues McDonald's for close to $3 million. And we're going to be talking a little bit about that in this video. Also, this is our first official video at Two Man Congress. So support us. If you're listening on the podcast, go subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see this in person. You'll be able to see all the funny videos, edits that I do, and it should be a good time. So without further ado, let's hop into it. So this case is a huge cultural case in America. You get tons of memes like this one here, just tons of memes. It's insane. So we'll just hop into the backstory of what happened and what year this took place and all the details that happened there. So in 1992, while parked at a McDonald's parking lot, Miss Liebeck attempted to pour creamery into her coffee. She was a passenger at the time, and she accidentally poured it on her. The coffee was close to 180 to 190 degrees, which resulted in third-degree burns and burned over 16% of her body. And 6% of that was third-degree burns, as I've said a little bit, which exposed muscle and fleshy tissue, and she had to get skin grafted. She was taken to the emergency room by her grandson and was hospitalized for, I think it took her about 9 months to recover from her injuries. So originally she tried to settle for $20,000, and McDonald's denied that, offered her $800. That's when she saw legal action by one of her attorneys. This is the first time that she's ever sued, and they tried 2 more times to get the money before going to court. So when they went to court, these are some of the evidence that was presented to the jury. By the corporate specifications, McDonald's always had their coffee at 180 to 190 degrees. That was part of their company's stance. Reasons why they said that they had it that high was because people wanted their coffee, quote unquote, hot. Like the average cup of joe that you'll get at Starbucks. I personally don't drink coffee, but if you do get coffee at those places, they usually average anywhere between 140 to 160 degrees. So McDonald's is anywhere between 20 to 30 degrees hotter than your average cup of joe back in the early 90s. And another evidence that was brought before the jury was pictures with her skin grafts. So brought evidence that it takes anywhere between 2 to 7 seconds to cause a third-degree burn. And the chairman of the Department of Medical Engineering and Biomechanical Engineering at the University of Texas also testified of the harm that this would cause to a body. There's just tons of other stuff. Like between 1982 and 1992, Will and I are excited to announce our 3 brand new tier system in Patreon. If you want, you can check it out in the description below if you wish to support Will and I. And it's relatively cheap, so if you like this content, just support us. It's great. So link below. Don't want to miss out. A lot of the evidence that was brought to the jury during this case. And we'll talk a little bit more about her money and how she got it. So the jury awarded her $200,000 originally for her injuries, and then they retracted that to $160,000 because the jury found her 20% at fault. And then the Judge Robert Scott, called McDonald's behavior calloused, because some of the evidence that was brought against McDonald's was the fact that they one of the points that they brought up was that McDonald's knew about the statistic of the 700 people, but because there's close to millions upon millions of consumers that drink McDonald's coffee, they did not feel that that was a significant statistic to change the temperature of their coffee. So the judge called their behavior calloused, and that resulted in her $2.7 million of damage of calloused conduct. So that's how she got her $2.7 million in revenue because of McDonald's behavior. So now you know a little bit more about the Albuquerque, New Mexico case. Anyways, I don't think I actually mentioned this at the beginning. So this lady was 79 years old at the time, so she was about 80 when she spilled the coffee on her. And her full name is Stella Lieback. I'm not sure if I said that earlier. So now you know a little bit more about the case. You could take your own opinions and kind of like in the comments, just let me know what you think and whether or not you feel that the jury came to the right conclusion in this case. Patreon. Will and I are excited to announce our 3 brand new tier system in Patreon. If you want, you can check it out in the description below if you wish to support Will and I. And it's relatively cheap, so if you like this content, just support us. It's great. So, link below. Don't want to miss out. More of this content, please message us in the comments below and we'll look at it. We'll consider it. Anyways, this is really fun to do, so if you really like me reviewing court cases, especially controversial ones that are in the United States, maybe not controversial, but famous ones, such as this McDonald's v. Lieback case, just let us know in the comments, and we'd love to do more content like this. And that concludes this episode of Two Man Congress, and we'll see you next week as we are coming out with our next episode, which will be debuting next Monday. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Law Schoolers. Before I let you go, there are 4 things I want to say. The first thing is if you enjoyed these episodes and if you enjoyed the website, I would invite you to go and join Law Schoolers Pro. And you can do that by going to lawschoolers.com/join. It's a way for you to support us, but there's also a lot of features there that I think you will enjoy. Second thing is that nearly all of our episodes are unedited. The only ones that aren't are pre-law materials, and the reason for that is so you can actually see the legal material in its raw form as I'm learning it as well. The third thing is that the information contained in these episodes are specifically only for educational purposes. They're not to be used as legal advice, and with that, the fourth thing is if it is used as legal advice, we are not liable. That is, Law Schoolers is not liable for any legal outcomes. Thank you again for enjoying the show. Have a good one.